All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to class. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to come on in.
Hey G,
Hey, Treya, how you been?
good. How you been?
Been good. It's been a minute.
Your hair looks amazing.
Thank you.
I keep
Thank
meaning to tell you that.
thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Monique. Hey, Jasmine. All right,
Hey.
we're gonna give y'all know a couple minutes for everybody to come in because I want to make sure that we jump into this. I want to spend as much time as I can on y'all as far as what how this retrograde is going to affect y'all individually. So we're gonna just jump in, just talk about some of the overall of how is this going to affect us all. You know what I'm saying? And definitely talk about just some key principles of Saturn and some key principles of Pisces. And then just kind of again get into how these things are going to affect y'all individually. And so y'all can be ready because this is a 5-month long work that we have to do. Okay. And even though we're already feeling it right now, when I tell y'all this is gonna feel like you felt when you was getting ready to turn 30. Okay. So from 27 to 30, that Saturn return, this is a Saturn return energy that we're gonna feel because of what it's dealing with is at 19 degrees Pisces. So remember 19 years old of you, okay? As well as what it meant when you was getting ready to fully get out of your mama house or leave the spaces of your family unit and start to get into what it means to be on your own. This is what this energy is about. So adulting is the topic, okay? Karmic cycles is the topic, okay? Commitments, boundaries, all of those things are the topic when it comes down to how we're going to deal with this particular retrograde. And it's not just dealing with this retrograde. We got Mercury retrograde is going to also kick up on the 4th of August. So we got these two things combined together, but this one is going to be extremely important. So I want to make sure that we don't spend a lot of time on just talking about the general details and really get into y'all as individuals so y'all will know exactly what to do, okay? Hey, Jamaica. Hey, Brandy. If y'all can't talk, just text me, okay? Hey. All right, we're gonna get in. 2 more minutes. So y'all pull y'all chart up. If you don't have it, I want y'all to pull up your time passages chart. I want you to pull this thing right here up, okay? So go to this page. Go to this part on your time passages, okay? And y'all are all looking amazing too, Dre. You looking good too, girl. Your locks is locking. Okay, they didn't got long.
Girl, I just washed them. That's why. Thank you.
Uh-huh. But pull up your time passages, go to your planets, because I'm going to show you where you're going to start off studying, right? Where I want you like to go straight into finding out where this stuff is going to affect you. Okay, now what we're going to be addressing today is all the spaces where you have Pisces. So if you have any planets that are in Pisces, we're going to talk about those. We're going to also talk about the 12th house dynamics, so what you have in the 12th house. And we're also going to talk about your Saturn placement, okay? Now, why are we talking about the 12th house? Because Pisces rule the 12th house. So for people that be like, I don't got no Pisces, I don't got no Pisces planets. Well, guess what? Pisces rule the 12th house. So you ain't getting away from this lesson. People be quick to want to tell me, I don't have that. Yes, you do. Okay. Ain't no such thing as you not having something. Okay. We all got this. Everybody's having, you're not getting out of this. The adulting is on everybody, just in certain variations of degrees. Okay. On top of that, too, because I'm gonna give y'all everything. Because it is dealing with Pisces. Pisces is a mutable sign. Okay. There are 4 mutable signs. Those mutable signs are Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo. Okay. So it's going to also go in and affect these signs the most. Okay. The mutable signs are going to get hit the strongest. And then the fixed signs and then the cardinal signs are going to also get the energy. But it's going to affect those spaces first. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. I'm going to move my time passages out the way So just in case you did not know, this is where you are, okay? We are in June 29th to November 15th is the span of this retrograde, okay? We are closing out karmic cycles. What does that mean? Pisces is the end. It is the omega. And because it is the omega, whenever we're dealing with Pisces, we're dealing with the old man and the old woman in you, okay? So we're dealing with your inability sometimes to take care of yourself. We're also dealing with the energy of self-sabotage, meaning giving everybody else your time and your energy and not giving it to yourself. We're also dealing with your vices, okay? Meaning like your drugs, your drinking, your oversleeping, overeating, all the things we tend to do to escape from having to deal with ourselves. Pisces loves to do that. Pisces is the master escape artist, okay? And we tend to escape in things that make us feel dreamy or things that take us away from this world. Why? Because again, it's the end. So Pisces is not removed from going ahead and trying to kill itself in one way or the other, okay? So these are the things that you do when it comes down to the pressure is really getting on you. What do you run to, okay? What do you use to self-soothe, okay? Have you been using good practices to self-soothe? Have you been using your gifts and talents to soothe? Or have you been using family passed down generational trauma to self-soothe? And the answer is most of us been doing that. You can't help it. That's what you've been taught, okay? So your purpose here is to break the karmic cycles. And break the karmic cycles is the reason why you choose to do some of those things that the family has passed down to you. So if alcoholism is in the family, when the going gets tough, then you choose alcohol, okay? If food is the vice of the family, then when the going gets tough, you go to eat, okay? If helping other people and sabotaging your life has been what the family does, then that's what you tend to do. So breaking the karmic cycle looks like what? It looks like doing what the family should have done when the going gets tough. And what we are supposed to be doing, we're supposed to be self-caring through our gifts and talents. So for the next 5 months, your number one thing that you have to pay attention to is your triggers. You have to pay attention to the energy that brings up your childhood wounds that starts to make you want to run away from things, okay? Because the thing is that energy that's coming up in you that makes you want to self-soothe on vices or run away from things, it's really your gifts and talents trying to talk to you. So whatever that thing is, I want you to just for 5 seconds, when it shows up and you want to run to the vices that is not going to make you productive, I want you to sit with it for a minute and feel it. Okay. Why feel it? Because Pisces needs to feel. It needs to get into the energy of it. It's a water sign. So because it is a water sign, it is going to feel the energy. You may cry too. Okay. Pisces needs to cry too. Again, it's water. You might need to go to water. You might need to go to the ocean. Go sit in the tub. Go take a shower. Go drink some water. Whatever you can do, go to those things first and then go to your gifts and talents, whatever they are, okay? If that's dancing, if that's music, if that's some form of art, if that's, photography, painting, you know what I'm saying? Whatever those things are, the next 5 months, I guarantee you, if you take this Saturn in retrograde energy, and when the pressure comes on, as you are going to feel it, and you put it into your gifts and talents, I guarantee you by the time we get to November, when this retrograde is over, you're going to have masterpieces. The things that you're going to create out of this is going to bring you very lucrative income. And you have to know this. This is why it's doing it. Because it's going to take us through something to where all the ways in which you've been used to getting money, those things are going to dry up if they have not already started. If you have not already been seeing that the ways in which you normally get money, you're like, what's going on? I never had an issue with getting money in this way. And now it's like, it's trickling, okay? Not that it stopped, but it's like, and you're like, what the hell is going on, universe? That is Saturn in retrograde. That is like, oh, you think you just gonna ease by this? No, I'm going to make you think that you're getting ready to lose grip so that you can recognize that there are other ways in you that needs your attention. And the only way for us to go to that is for us to get scared and get a little bit panicky and think that things are not going right, so you can start to question everything that you know about yourself. And what does that do? It makes some of the best art we have in this world have come from people when they have gone through the worst of shits. Okay, I like to use Mary J. Blige all the time. I tell people like Mary is an artist that her albums were great because she was getting her ass beat, or she was, on drugs, or she was doing something, and all those things that she was going through created these masterpieces that was speaking for all of us. We may not have been getting our ass because or on drugs, but we was definitely going through that stuff at the same time. So your art is not just for you. So some of this stuff that you've been ignoring to do because you have been skating by because you've been making the money, or skating by because provisions have been made, the universe is going to take those provisions away because we need the art. We need the talents. We need the gifts. So this is a collective consciousness thing that we're doing. Okay. All right. So let's look at some of just the stuff that's going on that has been said to us as it relates to this retrograde. Okay. Let's do this one first. All right. And this was on New York Post, okay? Now look at what they said. Strict planet Saturn is slowing his roll and forcing us to reconsider the part we play in the saga of our own lives, okay? Gather around, folks. Formative daddy planet Saturn is starting to slow backstroke in the murky, mutable, confetti clogged bathwater of Pisces, okay? On Saturday, June 29th, Saturn was stationed retrograde in 19 degrees of Pisces, where it shall remain in the slow down. Listen to these keywords, okay? In the slow down showdown until November 15th. Saturn's purpose is parental, okay? The reparenting of yourself is going to come out of this. So whatever you did not get from your childhood, there's also a part of the karmic cycle that you're going to break. It was never, mama and daddy was never meant to give it to you. It was never going to happen. They didn't have it to give to you. Okay. They didn't have it. They didn't even get it for themselves. Your grandparents didn't give it to them. But some of this stuff we're still holding on. Like, well, I got this problem because my mama wasn't there, or my daddy wasn't there, or they didn't teach me this. Well, hey, they may not have. That is no excuse for you, the reason why you don't have it, okay? You are the cycle breaker. You're the karmic energy that's going to change this, okay? Saturn's purpose is parental, encouraging us to establish rules, to keep commitments, set standards for ourselves that will serve our ultimate purpose. I'm going to read that again. Saturn's purpose is parental, reparenting of yourself, okay? Encouraging you to establish rules, keep commitments. The ultimate commitment is to yourself. We keep breaking these damn commitments to ourselves and then wonder why everybody else breaking the commitment to you too. If you can't hold a commitment, why should anybody else? You are the foundation for how everything else comes out of you and to you. So if you cannot keep the commitments, ain't nothing else gonna show up, okay? Set standards for ourselves, all right? That will serve our ultimate purpose. Saturn can and will be punishing, okay? Y'all, did you hear that? Saturn can and will be punishing, but it's always and ever in service of progress. Why is that? You have to look at Saturn energy as like the drill sergeant, okay? Or like going to boot camp, okay? Or working out with a personal trainer who don't give a shit about your tears. The reason being is because the reason why Saturn doesn't mind punishing us or putting the foot down on certain things, because it knows that once you do these things, you're going to look better. You're going to feel better. And not only that, again, we are all connected. So when you do these things, everything that you decide to tap into, now we are all better. We are all getting things accomplished. Okay. A lot of the issues that we are experiencing in this world is because we are not doing our part. We're sitting back and expecting the world to change, but you're not changing nothing. So how are we going to expect the world to change if you don't do your part? So Saturn will, okay, some of the things we're going to go through will be very punishing. It's going to feel like a punishment. It's going to feel like you're doing your part and the teacher is picking on you. How many of y'all have been in a class in high school or in college where you felt like you was doing your best and it seemed like the teacher just kept calling out on you or kept picking on you, right? And you've been told, well, it's because they see something great in you, right? And that's the truth. The ones who get picked on the most, or the ones who get called out the most, are the ones who got the biggest talent in that particular thing. Well, this is going to be all of us, okay? Saturn knows that this generation, those of us that are here now on this planet, We have supreme power. It'd be funny to me that we love watching these superhero movies and we love anime and we love all these things, but we don't realize that that's us. They're talking about us, okay? This is not fictitious energy. They got that from something. And where did they get it from? They got it from you. They got it from me. They got it from us. Because collectively, we are this superpower and this energy. And this Saturn retrograde in Pisces is going to make sure that we end everything that needs to be end so that we can start a new leaf and make sure that we are in progress of a new world, okay? The new world order, let me tell you about that too. The new world order is you. Ain't no need us being scared of no Illuminati. Ain't the Illuminati is you too. That's still you. Everything you look at that you may have a fear of is you, okay? And that's what's going on. But it will always and ever be in service of progress. This is the real deal. Eat your vegetables. Do your push-ups. Grow the fuck up energy, okay, is what we in. So this is all we leaving home, okay? And when I mean leaving home, I mean we leaving the comfort zones of our past. We're leaving the old energy behind and we're starting to step in something that is really good. But I have to be honest with you and tell you that it ain't gonna feel comfortable at first. It's not gonna feel comfortable. It's gonna feel like, again, somebody is trying to rob you and somebody trying to steal your bike. But again, you know what to do. And what that is stepping up on the structures and the things that you need to do, okay? All right, that was part one. Now, Saturn retrograde in Pisces, finding structure amidst uncertainty. Now, in astrology, Saturn rules Capricorn and traditionally also Aquarius, right? And it does. So when we talk about Saturn on one end, when we talk about the Capricorn perspective, we are talking about the drill sergeant or going to boot camp. But when we talk about the Aquarius perspective, we're talking about both the energy of needing the structure, right? So when you think about the Aquarius dynamic, because it has the rebellious side, which is Uranus, and then it has the Saturn side, okay? Now, when we think about these two perspectives, if Aquarius does not have Saturn, it is running amok, okay? When I mean running amok, it is doing all kind of craziness, tearing up things, because it's all future and it's all loose air. But when you put Aquarius in the midst of structure, my God, when we talk about a age that is going to supersede any age that we've had, baby, we here, okay? So when we think about this energy, it's associated with boundaries, structures, also maturation, the maturation process, okay? So Saturn's transit brings karmic lessons and teaches us authority, responsibility, and commitment. So if you can just focus on those three things, okay? Your own authority. What is your own authority? Ain't nobody gonna make you go to the gym. Ain't nobody gonna make you eat right, okay? You know what doing those things are gonna do. You know, holding your own authority to yourself, what these things are gonna do, because the responsibility of that is what's taking you to the next level. And the commitment is the self-commitment, okay? We can say that Saturn represents the laws of 3D reality and its limitations, as well as areas where we must get stronger, face challenges, and develop discipline. So the next 5 months, that's what you're doing. Everything you're doing is making you stronger, okay? It's gonna be some challenges, but what happens when we face a challenge? Either we triumph or we lose. But do we really lose? Or do we just learn another way to win? That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? I say, hey, I ain't no loss over here. I don't care what I go through. I don't care how many relationships I go through that seem like they're failing. No, they ain't. Baby, I just learned a new way to love. I learned a new way to take care of myself too. So some things may look like it is a failure, but on the other end is also showing you where you need to just step up a little bit more, okay? Developing discipline. Discipline looks like, again, having immaculate time, staying on top of a schedule for 5 months. I tell people all the time, if we do what is required for a certain block of time, then you can take a break after that. But it's like we want to break all the time. We just want, I don't never want to do it. I just get somebody else to do it. And if you are never honoring these things, how are you ever going to get what you truly do desire? Your dreams. Pisces rule the area of dreams, right? This is about bringing your dreams to reality. But how do you get the reality of those dreams? Discipline, okay? Making sure that you are holding your responsibilities and your commitment. And again, I know we all come from families that did not have great discipline in one area or the other. If it wasn't finance, okay, if it wasn't self-care, okay, most of the women that I know came from terrible self-care practices. Our mamas did not do well, okay, but they also came from our grandmamas who also didn't do well. So now it's time for us to do well in those things, okay? All right, also referred to as the Lord of Time and Karma. That's why we break in karmic cycles. Saturn can be seen as the timekeeper of the zodiac. Saturn invites us to grow up, take responsibility. Do y'all hear these reoccurring things? Grow up, grow up, grow up. Damn it, I'm 45. Am I not grown? Maybe in some areas, I guess I'm not, okay? And this is what's being called out, okay? It's also invites us to grow up, take responsibility of ourselves, for our choices, for our actions, for how we invest our time and energy. Your time energy is going to be extremely important. Okay, so where you have these placements, this is what it's calling out. Okay, so you already know what you are working on. So when we start to talk about where these places are in your chart, you know it's for you to activate authority, for you to make sure you are living in responsibility, for you to honor those commitments that you have for yourself. Okay, why? Because we're getting stronger. We are making sure that we are calling the challenges, because we know when we call the challenges, it's going to make our muscles do what they need to do. It's going to develop the discipline that we have been missing, that has been taking us away from the next level. We are changing dimensions. If y'all have not already felt that already, then I don't know where y'all been. Maybe you've been in your vices too much, but we are not in the same dimension that we was 5 years ago. This is a new place, okay? Which means you got some new things to do. Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, contains the totality of the 11 previous archetypes. So when we get to Pisces, the reason why Pisces knows everything literally is because it is a combination of all the other 12 signs total. It is the end. It is the omega, okay? It is the place where we come from and the place where we are going to come back to, the beginning and the end, a place beyond space and time, beyond the limitations of form, rationality, and the five senses, okay? It's where we like to be in the dream state. So another thing that you should be activating during this time is your astral projection and your astral travel, okay? So if you don't know what that is, when you dream, this is one of the things we talked about in the class before. When you dream, your dreams are not just fictitious places, okay? Your dreams are spaces where you are really going to, okay? These are other spaces in time dimension travel. And it's time for us to start to adapt that and understand that. Why? Because if you recognize that this is, even though your physical body is asleep and still, your spiritual body is traveling and is doing stuff, okay? And when you recognize that that's what it's doing, you can now start to control it, so that right before you go to sleep, you can start to program yourself. Like, I want to go and do this, or I want to go do that. So when you go to sleep, right, you can start to travel into these spaces so that you can start to download other information or get other resources or go back and clear up some things in your past lives. You can do all these things. You don't have to just wait on somebody else to access your Akashic records. You can do it yourself. But see, we've been lied to that our dreams are these fictitious things. No, they're not. You're doing all kinds of stuff in your dreams, including spending time with people, you know what I'm saying, having conversations with people. Last night I had a dream there was a baby that was no more than 3 years old that tried to stab me on the corner, okay? And I saw it. I even saw it before it happened. When the baby was sitting, I'm like, this baby's weird. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? The moment he reached out to try to, with the knife, I grabbed his arm and I said, where the hell is your mama? And he just started whining because he couldn't even talk. He didn't even develop language. And I walked him through that neighborhood until I found where the fuck his mama was. And me and his mama sat down and had a whole conversation about what the fuck was wrong with her. And I said, what's wrong with you and what's wrong with this baby? But I know I just activated a whole community of women where we're getting ready to do a lot of working in the astral realm to help our children. Our children are angry. Okay, they are angry. And I'm not just talking about the ones you gave birth to. I'm talking about the entire state of children are mad and angry because we are putting too much responsibility on them that we couldn't even do. And it's terrible. Okay, so that dream was also a part of, the energy that I know I'm working on already. So understand that your dreams, Pisces, Saturn in Pisces retrograde, is letting you know that your dreams are real. So since they are real, what are you going to do? How are you going to structure them? What are you going to do to make your dreams be another space and time that you can work, or where you can do some stuff? Okay. All right. Planets in Pisces, and your Pisces, planets in Pisces are floating through a formless, timeless realm, a place where nothing is linear or solid. Do you hear that? Nothing. We're just floating through the space, okay? A place where everything is slowly dissolving. We are bringing it all together. This energy is going to be great. It is great, okay? All right. Now, one of the things also, you're going to understand that this is the energy that is going to bring maturity is what you're going to be working on. The Sirius planets is here to help us to grow up. We already said that, right? Structure. Saturn is the planet with a plan. So this is going to be about plans that you have, and you may have to rework those plans. So the plans you had last year, you may have to go back and look at those plans now when Saturn goes into retrograde, because anytime we go into retrograde, we do all of the RE words. Remember, revise, rework. Okay, y'all put some more RE words in the chat. You know what I'm saying? All the RE words that you can think of that are coming up is what retrogrades are for us to redo. Okay, all those things. So the plans that you have are good. They just need to have some more, revisions to them. Okay, discipline and work ethic. Saturn's lessons are effortful, okay, and rewarding. Time management. My God, time management. I ain't never met so many people in my life that has an issue with time. It's crazy to me, okay? I can't imagine when Saturn was our main energy that we was dealing with, what time used to be like then. I cannot even imagine it, okay? Time, TikTok, Saturn, aka Chronos, follows the chronological clock, okay? You can decide what type of time you want to be on, but you're going to have to be on one. You're going to have to follow some type of time regimen, some type of disciplinary energy in time. Karma, clearing of the karma. Our actions catch up to us on Saturn's watch. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important for you to step into this and do this right. Because Jupiter don't work without Saturn. You can keep asking for all the blessings, all the luck, all the opportunity, all the travel, all the relationship energy that you want. But if you are not willing to do what you say you're going to do, then when Jupiter goes and talk to Saturn about what you were supposed to do, and Saturn be like, nah, I ain't seen her. He ain't showed up. I don't know where they at. Then Jupiter going to be like, well, I ain't showing up either. Then we can just go ahead and push that money back, push that relationship back, push that health issue. She got that health issue. She wanted me to help her to heal from. Sorry. She gonna go and suffer with that a little bit more. Okay. This is the energy. You get the rewards based on your Saturn energy. Okay. Governments, banks, corporations. Large enterprises are Saturn domain. So we're going to see a lot of stuff happen with the government. Okay, this is an election year, is it not? Are we not supposed to be voting this year? So baby, what you do or don't do is going to affect that election. Okay, what I mean is better put some energy into it. Even if you don't plan on voting, you better vote in here. Okay, you better say what you want to happen, because if you just try to check out and think that you don't have no part in it, then whatever shows up, you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna, and if we have not learned anything from the 2020 sector until now, from 2019 and when COVID came in until now, if you didn't learn nothing, that you should know that your voice matters. Who you are and how you speak up matters. Why? Because the government really rides off of us. Okay, it has to. So when we check out and don't want to do nothing, what do I mean when I say when check out? If you're not willing to grow your own food or have some plans of having plants and some type of energy that you are growing to allow yourself to have a good balance and a good grounding and foundation, then that's checking out. Okay, if you're not putting your art, gifts, and talents into the system so that people who are going through mental health challenges or issues in their life can see your art and they're instantly healed, you are checking out. If you are supposed to be speaking on a platform and you choose not to do that because you got a blocked throat chakra and you worried about what somebody gonna fucking say about you, you checked out. Okay, so there's many ways in which you're checking out that you don't think so, because you are thinking that your life don't matter, and it does. If it didn't matter, you wouldn't be here. Okay, you would not be here at this time and space. If what you had to say, do, or whatever it was about you did not matter, we wouldn't see you, we wouldn't know who you are. So because you are here, you got stuff to do. So let's do it, okay? Because if not, the government is going to take over, okay? The banks are going to take your money and say you are a slave and you're going to do what the fuck I say, right? And you're going to be like, I got to do it. Why? Why you got to do it? You don't think your energy big enough to say that you ain't going to do it? It can. Corporations also cannot be a corporation without people to work for it. So if you don't like what the corporation is doing, stop putting your energy and your time into it. If you don't like the way that grocery store is doing what it's doing, stop shopping there. If you don't like this, stop going there, right? We have to, as a society of people, and this is another way in which Aquarius is going to show up, because Aquarius is about the community. So as the community, as Saturn sit there and start to talk to Aquarius, and especially because Pluto is still in Aquarius, whatever the thing is that you know you're supposed to have a voice about and speak up on, you need to do that. Because if you don't, you check it out, okay? Prestige, status, and authority. All achievement is rewarded by Saturn. How? Because Saturn and Big Jupe are best friends. Okay, they hang out all the time, talking to each other all the time. And if you are not doing your Saturn stuff, Jupiter don't give two fucks about what you got to say or what you got to do. It's checking out on you. All right. Are y'all here? Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand what's happening here? Let me look at this chat. Y'all in the chat room saying something. Okay, I already started. I can't find my debit card. And I leave it 2 days. Girl, see what I'm saying? Hey, Queen. Hey, yes, Lord. I already started the astral projection dreaming. Good. I mean, and at this point, if you are really tapping in, it's hard for you not to, because it's already happening to you. You know what I'm saying? That you could try to dismiss it, but it's already happening. Okay. Release. Yes. Revisit. Okay. Come on. Ain't nobody got time for that. Y'all remember that song? That Brandy and what's her name? What is her name? The older lady who we like, Jennifer. What's Jennifer last name? But it was a song that they did.
Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis. Ain't
Nobody
got time for that.
for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay? We have to understand what it is, baby. Yes, it's already started. We're already in the spaces of that. Okay? All right. So we can close that out. Now let's look at what the chart gonna look like. Okay? Boom. This is what the chart looks like. Okay? Now, again, if you want to, anytime you want to project into what the stars are going to look like, your time passage is not going to do that. Time passage is for current information. What's going on today, right now, is what it's going to show you. Okay. It's only going to show you your chart information too, and what you have to work on, but it's not going to show you future projections. Astro Seek is going to show you future projections. All you have to do is go to it, type it in, go into the free horoscopes or go into the tools. And right here, all you got to do is go in and put in the time. Okay. And you're going to put it in as if it's a birth time, because that's literally what it is. Every day is a birthday. Okay. It don't mean that it's got to be a person that you know birthday, but the day itself is a birthday, right? So we look at Saturday as a birthday. We know that it's going to go into retrograde at 3:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. When it goes into that 3:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can go into this part right here where it says animate chart and literally go in and select of how you're going to get to that time. So all you got to do. Now, this is what the chart is going to look like. Now, the reason why, I already got a little headache thinking about it. The reason why it's going to be a little punch coming in is because it's going to be on an Aries moon day. Okay. Now, y'all know I'm an Aries sign. Y'all know Aries is the baby. Okay. Now, Aries being the baby, and Aries moon energy at 17 degrees is a 17-year-old dealing with this, and it does not want to deal with it, okay? It's very angry and irritated about it, okay? So we got the Aries moon at 17 degrees. We're going to have Saturn going into retrograde, okay? Mercury and Venus are both going to be in Cancer along with the sun. Okay. We're going to have Mars is still going to be in Taurus energy. You know, Jupiter's still going to be in Gemini until July 2025. You know, Saturn is going to also be dealing with, of course, Saturn going to be a retrograde in Pisces. Then we're going to have Uranus also going to be dealing with Taurus, and then Neptune at the last degrees. Okay. Now, that Neptune at the last degrees is just like it being at the first degrees of the next sign. Okay, so meaning Neptune is at the cusp energy of Aries and Pisces, the last degrees of Pisces, beginning degrees of Aries. So this is a lot of why? What's happening? Don't leave me. Don't leave me alone. It's all of that that's combined together. The importance of you studying it now before Saturday is so that you are not thrown when Saturday comes, okay? Meaning anything that potentially pop up, whether it be in your finances, whether it be in your relationship, your discipline, in your health perspective, depending on where these things are in your chart, then when these things start to take place, you are going to be okay, okay? You're going to look back at this class and you're going to review and you're going to do your homework so that you are not thrown by this energy, because it's going to throw a lot of people. Telling you right now, a lot of people going to be thrown this weekend because they want things to work out the ways in which they want to work out. And Saturn is like, grow up. And the way I'm going to make you grow up is like a mama kicking you out her house. That's what it's going to feel like. Get out of here. I don't want to deal with you no more. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought you loved me. I do love you, but this is the way you're going to grow up, okay? The reason why I'm going to feel that too is because Chiron is also in Aries. And we know Chiron is the wounded healer, okay? The wounded healer, meaning it heals you through your wounds. So because it is in Aries, it's going to strike that moon energy. And the first thing you're going to call out is, I don't never get support. Don't nobody ever listen to me. I don't never had a help. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, when it comes down to the Aries energy is, you are the baby, so you have everything that you want. But you can only get access to that when you do it first. Okay, so wherever that energy is, be reminded that you have to do it. You have to show up. And when you show up, you'll get it all. But you're not going to get it before you show up. Okay? All right. Y'all got any questions about what we done went over? We finna get into y'all charts. So y'all have any questions? Did I move too fast? Nope. Okay. We good. Good. Come on. I need the rest of y'all. Monique, Jamaica. Who else down there? Sheree, hey, love. This don't sound fun at all. No, it ain't fun. No, it is not. Did you thought we came here to have fun? We're not, this is not for fun. Okay. We are not at the pool. Okay. We are drowning. We are learning how to swim in very deep waters. Okay. You are going to cry. Believe that. Okay. But the tears do what? Tears are clearing. Okay. It helps you. Okay. Okay, great. It's okay. You labor right on time, baby. Okay, cleansing and release. I'm telling you, it has rained for the last 2 weeks here in Mexico. It ain't never rained this much. You hear me? Since I've been living here. And when I tell you, I was just pissed off. Because then my mama's here visiting too, so I'm ready to get out and do all the stuff with mama. And we have just been in the house. Now, my mama's fine with that because she is a Mars and Pisces. So whether we go out or stay in, she's fine. I'm Mars and Pisces too, but I'm progressing more into Mars and Aries, right? My mama has been fine. I have not been. This is shitty. What you wait until I bring, you've been hot the whole damn time. And you wait until I bring my mama here. And I started looking at my mama like, is this your fault? Did you do this? Because this looked like you did this. You know what I'm saying? So understand, you are learning how to deal with the waters, okay? In a very deep way. I cried yesterday. My throat chakra was closed. I needed that release. Yes, you're going to cry some more. Okay, it's a lot of crying gonna come up out of this, but I guarantee you. And journal, please. Ooh, journal for your dreams, journal for your tears, journal for clarity. Okay, whatever is coming out, please keep it in a journal, because I want you to go back and look at this July 2025. Okay, as a matter of fact, you're gonna look at it Aquarius season 2025, and you're gonna look at it again July 2025, and watch what happens. Watch this energy of how you are scribing out your life, the details. Okay, all right, let's get into y'all chart. Now, First things first, I want you guys to pull up where you have Pisces. Let me take this off share. Stop share. Okay. Now, are we still, am I recording? Hold on. Okay. I just had to make sure. Okay. Now, first things first, where is Pisces in your chart? Where do you have Pisces? Okay. Tell me where you got Pisces at. All right, come on. Okay, Venus is in Pisces, fourth house is in Pisces. 12, come on, you better be ready coming in here in class today. Saturn is in Capricorn. Okay, North Node is in Pisces. I don't see it. So which house does it rule? 12th? 12th house, baby. So what's in the 12th house? So we're going to start off with where you have Pisces first. Okay. All right, starting with you, my love. All right, so Venus is in Pisces, okay? So we think about Venus perspectives. We're talking about foundations, we're talking about values, we're talking about money, we're talking about relationships, okay? Pisces in that space. Pisces, when we're talking about Pisces, we are talking about Neptune. We're talking about the escape artist. We're talking about the one who's supposed to work on self-care. So the first placement that you're going to have to deal with this energy is looking at all those things and how you have been loving on yourself, okay? Your own self-love, self-care. Okay, your own energy as it relates to how you are then maybe sabotaging those things as it relates to yourself. Okay, and because you have Venus and Pisces in the fourth house is your family program. So this is immediately going to be reprogramming yourself. Immediately, you looking at what you learn as it relates to self-care and love and taking care of yourself versus taking care of others, the program, so that you can clear the karmic cycles of that. So the very first thing that you're going to study and look at is Venus in Pisces and how Venus is in the fourth house. Okay, so Venus and Pisces in the fourth house and how that energy is then again helping you to clear karmic cycles. So what you're going to be doing for the next 5 months with just that placement is reprogramming and reparenting yourself. Okay, do you hear me, love? That's the first thing that you're going to do. Second thing is you're going to look at again, what vices have you been using to escape? Okay, what things have you been using to not give yourself the time and attention? Time is big, right? Because Saturn is the time keeper, right? So what have you been doing with your time as it relates to your foundations, your values, your money? What have you been doing? Because you haven't been self-caring. You haven't been taking care of yourself, eating up. I don't care what you've been doing. Everybody on this call, including me, I don't care what you've been doing for yourself. You haven't been doing enough. You haven't been, okay? How do I know it? The world shows us whether or not we're taking care of ourselves, okay? Are we satisfied with what's going on in Israel? Are we satisfied with what we see that's going on in Haiti? Are we satisfied with what we see that's going on in the Congo? Are we satisfied? Can you say thumbs up to that? If you can't say thumbs up to that, your self-care sucks because we're part of that cycle. What we see on the outside is what we're doing on the inside, okay? So we're not at an even playing field. So you're going to look at that first, and I want you to really seriously, for this Cancer season, because it's in your fourth house, this Cancer season, you're going to heavily look at your mother programs, okay? What did your mama teach you? What do you think your mama think about you? What is inscribed on the inside of you as it relates to what a woman is and what the feminine dynamic is? Because whatever it is, you need to change it. You need to review it, revise it, remember it, rewrite it. All the RE words, you need to go in and do that so that when you are ready to reprogram it, you are ready because it's time for you to reparent yourself, okay, in that dynamic. You got me? That's the first part. We're going to come back to the other placement that you got. But that is the very first part I want you to focus on from the Pisces perspectives. Okay? All right. Monique. North Node and Pisces. Okay? North Node. Who you came here to be. The car you're supposed to be driving. Okay? North Node in Pisces, and Aquarius is in the 12th house. So are you Pisces rising? Monique? What's
No,
your
I'm a Aquarius rising.
Aquarius rising? So that means Pisces in the second house then. So that means your North Node is in the second house. So money. Okay, first things first, North Node. Wear the suit. When we look at North Nodes, literally it means zip it up, put it on. Okay, so even though you are a Capricorn sun, all right, and Aquarius rising, during this next 5 months, I need you to put the suit on. What's the suit? The Pisces suit. What is the Pisces suit? Pisces suit is, again, the old man and the old woman, but it is the one who is taking care of self. Why? When you go to grandma's house, what's she doing? She's sitting there doing whatever she want to do. Fanning herself, eating whatever she wants, sitting back. You come up in there with all kind of things. She just sit on down, baby. Let me just tell you what I got to tell you, okay? She is the wisdom, okay? Put on your wisdom suit and live in that, okay? Not living in this overly taking care of everybody else, as that Capricorn and you can do, okay? Not in this being and living in other worlds and other realms of reality, as that Aquarius and you can do, okay? This is being in the water, in the depths of the water, as it relates to the energy that you hold, and it's big, okay? Time to be big in that. Why? Because that North Node in Pisces is in your second house. Your second house is drumming more money. It's drumming more attention, right? Drumming more attention. How? Because the Pisces energy, once it takes care of self, the ways in which it helps other people is to be a living example. So for the next 5 months, be a living example of what that is, which is taking care of you, putting you first. It don't matter about what everybody else needing you, okay? You tell them, hey, baby, I know you need me, but I got to take care of me right now, okay? And when I get through taking care of me, I'm going to show you what I did, and you can live from that suit. You can live from that, but I'm not going to hold your hand, okay? You can't hold hand, because if you hold hand, you're going to dry yourself up. You're not going to have that money that you know you need to have to make those things work. So that's why you lost that debit card. You lost that debit card because you doing too much. You ain't taking care of yourself. You ain't stopping and saying, okay, what do I need to be doing right now? Okay, if you stop and do what you need to do right now for you, that debit card gonna show up. Okay, you leaving in 2 days. How about this? For the next 12 hours, be like, universe, I surrender to myself. I surrender to my self-care. I'm just going to do what I need to do to be in alignment to me, because I know when I do this, everything's going to be taken care of. Why? Because just like the baby of the zodiac, the old woman and the old man is already taken care of, because you've already done the work. Where we have Pisces in our chart is where you've done everything. Remember, it says Pisces is a combination of all 11 signs before it. Well, what does that mean? That means Pisces is the completion, right? It means it is the wrap up. So if it's a wrap up, you already got everything. You just have to know that you do and stop giving it away. Okay? All right. Okay, Dre, did you find it? Did you tell me what's in 12th house? Because you just said I don't see it. Hello, ma'am. What's your rising sign?
My bad. I was typing. I'm Aquarius in the 12th house. My rising is Aries.
So if your rising is Aries, okay, then not only do you have Aquarius in the 12th, you got Pisces in the 12th too. Do you see that? Aries is the first sign, so the last sign is Pisces. Okay.
Right, because Pisces is the completion.
So because you got Pisces in 12th house energy, and we're gonna come back to those of you that put the 12th energy up there. 12th house is also where you have the biggest karmic lessons. Your biggest karma is in the 12th. Is where you get stuck in your feet. Why do I say feet? Pisces rule feet. So when your feet hurt, when you start having foot pains, okay, or feet issues, you got corns and bunions, that's all Pisces, okay? That's all things getting stuck. That's you not wanting to, when you can't dance, you can't move them feet, do the 2-step, that's Pisces being stuck, okay? So your energy in the 12th, okay, is recognizing that a lot of this karmic cycle energy that you have is also you self-caring and letting vices go, okay? So whatever your biggest vices are that you tend to go to as it relates to self-soothing and dealing with, it's time for you to call those things out, Because whatever it is that you've been using as those vices, those are not just your own things. Guess who else they belong to? Your family, your mama, your daddy. That's who they also do those same things. Okay. So you're going to break the karmic cycles. What you have in 12 is where we directly break karmic cycles. So you are breaking old patterns. You're breaking the age of Pisces patterns from your karmic cycle. So that means whatever you saw your mama do, whatever food she ate, whatever she didn't do for self-care, those things are directly passed down to you and you do them automatically. Okay, so your job is to go in and say, I can't do these things because I'm in a different age. I'm in the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius needs to be lighter. Why? Because it needs to be in the future. It needs to float. It's air. It's not. Pisces is heavy water. It's ocean. Okay. So that was the age. They had to do that. Okay. They had to do these self-loathing things and eat all these heavy foods and these rich foods and drink these sodas and all the stuff that we can't do because we are supposed to be lighter than them. We're supposed to be the airy energy that's moving. So in that 12th house energy, your job is to break the karmic cycles of the past patterns and start to look at ways in which you need to reparent. So your growing up is breaking away from the childhood things that you learned from your parents, okay? And also the childhood things that you didn't learn from your parents. So whatever it is that they didn't get a chance to do too, whether that be in forms of art, you have to do it more, okay? You can't just conveniently decide to pick up your gifts and talents when you feel like you haven't done it for 6, 7, 8 months. No, it has to be a consistency. Why? Because we're talking about discipline now. They wasn't disciplined because they couldn't be. They had to worry about Jim Crow and worry about making money and, you know, keeping a steady job and raising their children and make sure the kids had good education. You ain't got to do that. Those things are being provided. What you have to do is do the opposite, which is stay in the gifts and talents because that is breaking the karmic cycles. Okay? Break up with all their energy and start to get into the things that they did not have time for, okay? They didn't have time for these things, but you do have time because we are literally creating time. So we're not in the same, again, dimension as them. They live by 24/7. We are boundless with time. When I mean boundless with time, look at, I'm just using this for an example. Holly Berry is pregnant, Ashanti is pregnant, and Janet Jackson is pregnant, okay? All of these women are over the age of 45, okay? Now, if we remember, when we were kids, they told us that the biological clock, when you in your late 30s, that's it. You can't have a baby over 35 or 36 because your baby gonna be retarded. That's what they told us. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have a child who ain't gonna be able to breathe or talk or use his left palate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That is not true. We are the time creators. And because we are the time creators, the cycle that our parents lived in and believing those things, we can't believe in those things. Okay. So time is not a issue that's keeping us from doing those things. Create the time shift that you need to make sure that you are disciplined to that. Okay. All right. Auckland 12. Okay, let me go back up. Okay, I did Monique. Okay, Drea said hers. Okay, Cherie said Sun is in Pisces. Okay, Sun is in Pisces. So Cherie, what is your rising sign so I can see what house that Sun in Pisces is in? Okay, come on, all these Aquarius rising in here. So y'all just knew y'all was gonna show up to class. This Saturn energy is coming. Y'all like, look, Saturn is doing something to my energy, and I'm gonna need to know what is happening. Yeah, okay. So Aquarius rising means that you have Pisces too, okay, in that second house. All right. Second house, that means his energy is again foundations, money, values for you. So again, your money's finna change. Your ways of acquiring money is finna change. Okay. Self-sabotage has been my thesis. Listen, okay, it is. It's been all of our things. The year is self-sabotage. What have you been doing and why? Okay, because it's that Pluto and Aquarius. That Pluto and Aquarius did it. When that shifted into January, I cut my hair off because I have Venus in Aquarius. So trust me when I say I understand. I speak Aquarius all day, okay? When that Aquarius energy hit in Capricorn, this hair had to go. I was like, look, this whole life of mine, as it relates to Aquarius, I need some help.
I mean, when you were talking about heavy feet, I'm like, why the fuck can't I move? I can't. I just didn't understand. And then, just by chance, I saw your post about this class tonight. And I was like, oh, well, bet the universe wants me here clearly
Yes.
because I ain't been doing shit.
You hear what I'm saying? I'm telling you, that Pluto Aquarius came in and was just like, look, all the Aquarius needs to realize that it's now, okay? It's now and it's now and it's now, period. Okay, so self-sabotage is all our stuff. Foundations, values, money, relationships, Cherie. Okay. Second house dynamics. So the energy that you are going to have to deal with as it relates to your Pisces is recognizing where you have been sabotaging, okay, yourself with other people's things. Okay. Taking care of other people, family members, friends, okay, children. You've been just consumed with other people's things. And what it has been doing, it has been taking all of your energy and all of your things that you have been needing to put yourself inside of to make sure that you've been working on. It's been sacrificing those things. So what you're going to have to deal with too, again, same concepts. We all talking about time management, discipline, structure, all of that. But you're going to have to take care of yourself. Why? Because taking care of yourself is going to give you ways in which you are now going to feed that into your second house. The dreams that you have, the talents that you have, those things are going to have to be additional ways for you to draw in income because you've been using it, doing it wrong. Okay. We all been doing it wrong. So I'm not just talking to you. We all have been. Okay. But the ways in which it is affecting you is foundation. It is your values, okay? And how those value systems have been showing up and now they're starting to change. They're going to change based on your discipline to yourself, okay? So the first thing that you're going to study is that Saturn in Pisces in the second house, okay? Because that's where it is affecting you. It's going to affect those areas. But don't fret. Again, when we do the work of Saturn, Jupiter comes in and do the blessing. But if we continue to want to use those vices, whatever your vices are, gonna break up with them. Okay. Pisces got a lot of vices, a whole lot of them. When I say a whole lot of them, the taking care of the people is the number one. But overeating, over drinking, over sexing, over dreaming, over sleeping, not moving your feet, okay? All kinds of things is the way in which it avoids. Why? Because Pisces is the master escape artist. It escapes. Okay, I'm not doing it. I guess, please somebody call me and ask me for help. Do you need some assistance? Do you need some assistance over there? Because I'm coming. Okay. Why? Because you don't have to sit with yourself. Why? Because Pisces also in some ways has a fear of being alone. So some parts of this too for all of us is recognizing that our state of being alone is helping us to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. Okay. So that energy is going to affect you mostly in your second house as it relates to your foundations. Okay. All right. Who did I miss? Okay. Go back up. Jasmine. North Node in 12th house, but I don't see a Pisces placement. Okay. In my chart. It's okay. Because you got it. You just said it. Your 12th house and your North Node. Okay. So North Node is your placement. You got North Node in Pisces? So
North Node, yeah, in the 12th. It says North Node and Cancer in the 12th house.
Okay, that's fine. So if we think about the 12th house energy, right? And you think about that, your North Node is in there. Cancer is also where we do not take care of ourselves. Okay. Cancer is also the energy of mother programs. Okay. So now when we talk about putting the suit on, right? The Cancer energy, you got to put the suit on. You got to do what you need to do as it relates to taking care of yourself. But not only that, Cancer energy is also responsible for the programming energy of your dynamics of your family. Okay. So when you think about the energy of what you learn from your mom, and then what type of mother are you? Okay. Or what type of mother energy do you give yourself? Right. So think heavy about how it is that you see mothering and how you see your own self-care, okay? Because that energy of your own self-care also allows you to see what it is that you're supposed to be leading off on. Well, we have Cancer in our chart is where we're also the business owner, okay? So when I see people who have a lot of Cancer energy, especially North Node things, and that means your way of offering or making money and being disciplined has a lot to do with the energy of what you are offering, right? So you're supposed to be offering some form of self-care or the things that mean a lot to you. You're also supposed to be offering these for lucrative income for one of them, okay? North Node in Cancer means you got multiple businesses that you're supposed to be offering, but those are supposed to have things to do with self-care and taking care of yourself. So teaching people how to do that, not hand-holding though, right? This is what I do for myself. I learned this practice. This is what made me better. Here's the foundation for what you're supposed to do. This is how you do that. Okay. This is how you lead off in those things. So the whole energy of that is,
That's my
that's
baby.
okay. That's okay. This is the energy of making sure that you, again, how are you self-nurturing, right? How do you feel when it comes down to how your mama think about you? Okay. What is that program you got? What was your mama-daughter relationship? Okay. And are you healing from that? Are you suffering in that? Or are you trying your best to go away from that, not deal with it at all, and then thinking that you're going to be a better mom? You can be a better mom, but in order for you to do that, you have to also look at what you did not get, what you did not learn, okay? You got something to say about that? I see your hand up your mouth. Come on, talk to me. Say what you got to say, girl. Huh? You got something to say? You on mute. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I just wrote that a problem in the past I have had with my mom is that she sees me as a provider. However, my over functioning with my children, I lead by providing. So
yes.
yeah. So
Reprogramming.
Okay.
Reprogramming and reparenting is extremely important to breaking the karmic cycle of that. Okay. 12th house again. Karmic cycles are in the 12th. So we go back and talk about these 12th house placements. Everything in the 12th house is where your feet is stuck, where you can't move your feet. And you can't move your feet because the energy, you're not seeing it from a level of going back into the childhood, right? And looking at the programs. What you're doing is just getting over it or moving through it or attempting to move through it. No, you ain't. Ain't none of us doing that. You have to reprogram that cycle by looking deeper into it, okay? All right. Did I get everybody? Did I miss anybody on their Pisces placements? Brandy. I didn't
Yeah.
do. Okay, Brandy. Pisces pieces in the 12th house. Come on, pieces. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, shoot. My bad.
That's all good. But North Node, so the same thing. North Node, put on the suit. Now, is your North Node in Pisces?
Yes.
So same thing I just said. Who else had North Node in Pisces? I think it was
Jasmine.
Monique. Oh, Jasmine. I know yours was North Node in Cancer though. Monique is North Node in Pisces. Put the suit on, okay? Now, because you have a business, right, that deals with doula work, okay? Primarily, this is your primary source of income, okay? That your business that you're building on, which is beautiful because Pisces energy, North Node again, it's the same thing with Cancer energy, right? The Cancer energy is the self-care part, teaching people to self-care. Pisces is a doula on a lot of different ways, okay? It could be a birth doula. It could be a death doula, okay? It don't just have to be birth doula. It could be a death doula too. So helping people, assisting people from this stage to the next stage. But it's also helping people to birth a lot of things. But before you got to do that, it's about your birthing. What are you birthing in yourself? Okay, that energy has to come out of you first because the 12th house energy, right? Which is what you said it was in. Let me go back. Yes, the 12th house energy is where you get stuck. The karmic cycles. So now we think back at the parental part of it, right? And we think back at mom and daddy. We think back at the energy of what we learned from mom and dad, right? all this vibration of what they did and what they passed down to us, the vices that they use. We got to break the cycle of that. If you don't break the cycle of that, now all you're doing is repeating the self-sabotage, okay? And that is the theme of this year. The reason why Saturn is a little bit irritated with us is because we've been knowing for a while that we've been sabotaging our lives. We know we've been playing it small and shrinking, and we're like, I'm going to get to it. Give me a little bit more time. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm going to eat this last piece of thing. I'm going to go over here and do this thing here. No, time is up. Literally, okay? The time concept is up. So when it comes down to how you're going to now use this energy, you got to put the suit on. What kind of suit? The self-care suit, okay? Putting you first, taking care of you first, self-caring you in all the ways, breaking up with the family habits, reparenting yourself. It's all about what you need and how you need this thing to exist. Okay, and then from that, you can now become what you need to become as it relates to business. You can't be a doula on all these different levels for other people if you're not willing to birth yourself. If you're not willing to birth that own energy out of you, then how you gonna help people to the next level? Okay, how you gonna bring them over? It all comes to do with that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Suited the fuck up. Yeah, you and Monique both, okay? Y'all both need to understand that this is how y'all gonna get through this, okay? Suited and booted, okay? Put the suit on. All right. Is that me thumbing up? This me and these thumbs. How do I take that off? Okay, great. All right.
So
now,
wait, I got a question. Should we all ask ourselves like how or what are the what's the word? What are the habits of our parents that we need to just period, what are the habits of our parents? That way we know what to break.
Yes. And the reason why you should do that is because when is this retrograde starting? In what season?
In what season?
Yeah, what season are we in right now?
Oh, yeah, Cancer.
Cancer.
Cancer season. And what is the season of Cancer season? What does it do? What is it about? Family programs. The things we learn from our parents. So this entire season is about that. So when we start any retrograde in that season, that is part of the theme of that season. So and not only are we starting it in a water season, guess when it's ending? In the water season. Starting off in Cancer season and ending in Scorpio season. So by the time we get to November 15th, the transitional phase, Scorpio deals with transition, okay? Transforming, putting things into a new form is what it deals with, okay? We got to go to an example, Jean Grey to Phoenix, right? How she went through all the stages. So it's a transformation. You start off soft. You start off watering, wanting to be very nurturing and cuddling, but then the heat comes in and then you burn everything down. It has to be burnt down and start over. So when you ask yourself, what did I learn from my family dynamics? What did they teach me? And even if your parents was not in your life, that's still something they taught you, right? The absence, okay? The abandonment energy that you took on from that. You're still carrying that. So if your mama wasn't in your life, your daddy wasn't in your life, or something happened to where they were not there, you still carry that energy and you have to reprogram that. You have to reparent yourself to say, okay, the reason why I had these things as an example was because my parents did not have that. See, we blame our parents as it being that they didn't want to give it to us. But I always employ this question. If your parents hated you or didn't want to give you certain things, then how are you here? How? Your mama could have killed you. She could have went to an abortion clinic, or she could have used a clothes hanger. Well, all the evil things that people do to get rid of children, okay? But that didn't happen. So you're here. Now, I'm not saying that she did a 100% job or your dad did a 100% job. None of them did that. I don't know a parent alive who did a 100% job at raising their children. Not the celebrities that we watch, okay? Not none of the things that we have an example of. There is not an example of anybody doing 100% with their children. Why? because we don't have 100% of knowledge and experience. So it's impossible to do that. I read and watched every baby book. I watched TLC day in and day out about what it meant to have a baby and give birth to a baby. And the moment I got into that doggone hospital to have that baby, all that shit went completely left in what I read. It was, as a matter of fact, nothing that I read worked. Nothing. Nothing that I read helped me. I don't know how you didn't have children. I don't know how your birthday stories went, but mine didn't go nothing like what I watched and what I read. That's because it is individual. Okay, it is an individual thing that we go through. So you have to ask yourself these questions, especially, how does my mother think about me? How do I feel that my mother feels about me? How do I feel that my dad feels about me? How do I feel as it relates to the type of energy? What does my mom think I am when it comes down to being a mother? Because a lot of that stuff you still carrying in your cycles, and it makes you escape. It makes you not show up for yourself and not show up for your obligations, your responsibilities, and your commitments to yourself, all based on what your mindset is. Okay, so we're going to reprogram and we're going to start this thing off right. We have to use the Cancer season to do that. That's when it's starting. Okay. All right, let's go a little bit deeper.
Hey
Right.
Gigi, you still didn't do my Pisces placements.
Wait a minute, hold on. Who talking to me?
Jomika.
Okay. Jamika, let me go back to you, baby. I'm sorry. Okay. Pisces sun, Mercury in Pisces, and in the 10th house. All right. So we think about Pisces sun, or think about Pisces in general, and it being in the 10th house. 10th house is where we come to show up as it relates to our career and the status of us. Okay. So when it comes down to your career and your status, okay, and the communications of that, how do you show up in the workplace? Okay. Are you overly doing things for everybody else? Are you doing what they want you to do in the workplace and not taking care of yourself? Are you overworked? Okay. Have you been overworked?
Yes.
What's the question, Mom? What's that? Yes, you didn't think I was gonna say it?
Because, well, it's kind of hard not to. I know you're going to tell me differently, because I own a salon, and so I have to run everything. So it's hard not to be overworked.
No, it ain't. That's where the Mercury in Pisces comes in, because your language is what's setting the trajectory of what you're doing. You think you have to overwork, but in reality, you have to take care of yourself and then put people in place that you don't have to overwork at all. How long you had that salon?
$8 years.
Now, come on, Jamika. So you mean to tell me in 8 years, you haven't developed a system to make sure that you don't overwork? You know why you haven't? Because it's better for you to control it all. Okay, it's better for you to do all that, but it's making you tired. You're not gonna be able to keep this up. You gotta develop structure and put things in place. Okay, you gotta be able to have people in place that can also help you to do this. But because you are willing to handhold for every single body that coming into that office, or everybody coming to that salon, you're bringing more people in that you have to nurture and grow than people who are experienced. You hear what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
So this next 5 months is going to be a shift. And that shift is, it's time for you to employ and bring some people in. Or if you already full staff and you can't bring nobody in, then you need to bring somebody in that can educate and train them. And you don't have to do it. Because you need to be focused on something else, which is to be a better business. Do you have a desire of having other salons, or do you just want this to be the only one?
Oh, this is the only one. I don't have a desire to have more salons.
Okay, so what is the desire for this salon? What do you see the salon being in the next 5-6 years?
I have a desire to get away from the salon more, and maybe do more online things like selling hair, like more of that. I want to be less in the salon.
But you still want that salon going while you doing more stuff online and away from the being on day-to-day clients?
This is the thing. I enjoy what I do. So if
Mhm.
I had my dream life right this moment, I
Mhm.
would still go in, a couple of days a week and work on my clients.
Exactly. So that's how we're going to transition into that. So in order for you to do that, you got to get out of the space of thinking that you got to do everything, because you don't have to do everything. So this staging of it is to get more into clarifying what does it look like for you to be able to have this career in hair, right? What does this career in hair look like? And if it looks like, okay, well, I still have my salon and it's being managed in a certain type of way where I know I don't have to go in every day. I can go in 2 days a week because I have a staff that's going to take care of that. I have a manager that's going to take care of that. You have to verbalize this first. And I'm talking about verbalize to you. This got to be you first, because this is 10th house is career. This is Pisces taking care of myself. This is also recognizing that you are exceptionally great at this. Why do I say that? Because Pisces is the combination of everything before it. So if it's the combination before everything before, it knows everything. So since you know everything, you either have to develop some type of training program, okay, for the people who are there, or bring somebody in that can help you with that so that you can segue out of that. Okay, because you can. You don't have to, this don't have to take long either. The next 5 months, we need to be, again, revise, remember, re-looking at things so that you can segue. For 2025, you need to be looking at how you can do this and moving into that. You do not have to do everything. You have been doing everything because you have been telling yourself that this is what you have to do. And if you look at, as we just got through talking about, if you look at the programs, right? If you look at your mama program and your daddy programs and the cycles of where you have been raised, the women in your family, do they do everything?
Oh, I don't even know. Well, my mom passed away in 2004, so she did up until she passed away. But like now, I just feel like it's just me doing everything. So
You got the example. Your mom transitioned in 2004, but up until then, she was doing everything. So know that this is a pattern. Okay, it's a cycle and a pattern that you feel like you have to do exist in this way, and you don't have to exist in this way. What you have to do now is find a way to take care of yourself and give yourself the things that you want. Okay, and the way we do that is by sitting and getting clear on that. You got 5 months to work on it. But in these 5 months, it's going to mean that you're going to have to pull back and find ways to be able to do less, not more. Because doing more ain't going to get you there.
And I've started this next coming into July. I've definitely taken a lot of time and a lot of space away from the salon. So this whole month, I'm not going to be working as much, and I can definitely take a break. And like you said, just start putting things in motion and getting clarity on exactly where I want to go and how I want to do it.
Discipline. Okay.
Yes.
Number 1. Okay. Understanding that the responsibility that you have is not to the people that's in that salon, baby. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to you and being a good leader. Okay. And being a good leader looks like taking care of yourself. Okay. That's what a good leader looks like. Having a clear foundation on the responsibilities and the commitments you have to yourself, being immaculate with your time. So meaning that if you are not going, you're going to be in the shop less time, then the time that you do have available, it should be spent on making sure that you are getting the hair that you want, right? Becoming a distributor of hair or hair care products, right? This is the segue. This is how you go from 10th house being responsible for everything and everybody to being responsible for what you said you want to actually become. And you're going to get rewarded for that.
Okay.
Okay. Great. All right. Now, did I miss anybody?
So I just gotta be disciplined in self-care.
Yeah, not just. That is first, okay? Discipline in self-care and discipline on how you are a doula to yourself. How do you birth yourself? How do you take care of yourself as it relates to now doing the responsibilities that you know you need to do to you, being committed to yourself, being on top of your time management on all things, okay? Or are you just waking up and randomly going and doing what needs to be done? Do you have a daily schedule?
Yeah, I got a daily schedule.
Do you follow it?
Mm. It's been kind of hard lately.
I bet you it has. You see what I'm saying?
But
That's
I
what I'm
don't
talking about.
know why, because I don't like it.
I
I don't know. I feel like a Sagittarius, like I like to be free, but it's like now I gotta be on a schedule.
Exactly. So that's your work. That's what I mean when I say self-care. Because you got the schedule, and because you don't like it, you don't really live by it. You conveniently choose to do maybe one or two things on the schedule, but you're not really living by the schedule. That means you're not disciplined and committed to yourself. You're not committed.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
We don't care what you don't like. Saturn don't care what you don't like. Okay. It does not care about none of us and what we don't like. And again, it is the start. It is the camp you go to where they say, get your ass in here and do the push-ups, the sit-ups. And you like, I want to do it. It's like, I don't care. Do 5 more. Doesn't matter. We all have to live by. We all have to go through those things. Every last one of us in one way or the other. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want you guys to look into. Wait, hold on. I love these classes. I know you do, Monique. You be like, the class is too short. Can we at least have 3 hours? No, you cannot have 3 hours. Okay. I know I know way too much and I need to share it. Yes, you do. I don't know why y'all don't want to share stuff. I just wrote down 4 of my mother's habits for the karma I need to break. And now I know why you just said we're going to cry. Drill, you hear what I'm saying? Yeah. It's gonna be some crime because you're gonna also, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna also realize.
It's gonna be hard.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not gonna be hard. It's going to require some depth of you, is what it's going to require, but it's not gonna be hard. Okay. The reason why you have to do this, because let me tell you who we are as daughters to our mothers. Okay.
Because how do you not become your mother? It's like inevitable.
I'm finna get ready to tell you. The ways in which you do not become your mother is to recognize that the ways in which she showed up was because of her own childhood wounds. Okay? You did not literally go through your mama's childhood stuff, but you are carrying them. The reason why you're carrying them is because you are her moon. You are her emotions. Whereas the sons of our mothers is the sunshine. That's why when we started talking about these mother dynamics, we started talking about how mamas, worship their sons. It's because that's the light side of them. The sons come in and it's all illumination, it's all sunshine, it's all bright, bright, bright. You know what I'm saying? We are emotions. We're the darkness of them. So yeah, you're gonna want to carry that because you want to save your mother's emotions, and you cannot save your mama's emotions if you are not willing to break the karmic cycles for her. And breaking the karmic cycles for her is recognizing what she had to deal with emotionally and say, "Oh, I see why that happened to her." That's why our mamas don't really have to tell us everything that really happened to them when they was a child. We can see it on them. You can watch it in them. Their entire vibration and energy showed you exactly what your mama went through. You can see it. They don't have to give you one word, one experience. You emotionally can see it. But that does not mean that you're supposed to duplicate it. The way you save them is not by duplicating and becoming them. The way you save them is by saying, I can transmute this. What do we do in the darkness? We transform and transmute. I just told you Scorpio's job is the most darkness we have is Scorpio. What does Scorpio do? Transmute and transform. So when you recognize what those programs are, you know what I'm saying? Then you can go in and say, oh, okay, I'm my mother's emotions, and I'm supposed to take this emotion and create something different with it. That's where art comes in. That's where your talent comes in. That's where dancing comes in, or moving your hips, you know what I'm saying? Opening up your root chakra and moving that energy out. What you think that's doing? That's transforming, transmuting it. But if you don't want to open this up and you walking around like this, you are becoming her because you are afraid that if you do something with it, that you're going to be unrecognizable. And I'm here to tell you, you are going to be unrecognizable, and you're supposed to be. That's what she's counting on you to do. She's hoping that you would do that, even though it scares her and makes her feel a little intimidated. I can't tell you the amounts of time in my life when I've scared the shit out of my mama, and she'd come to the end and be like, girl, look, I'm going to tell you something about you. You know what I'm saying? You've scared me a whole lot of time, but I'm so grateful that you did that. I'm so grateful that you did that. I even think about the fact of me moving overseas. All my life, I heard my mama tell me that she wanted to travel this world, and she did not until I came over here. This is her first time leaving the country. But all I've ever heard her say was she wanted to leave the country. So was I supposed to live in her fears and never leave the country? Or was I supposed to do what Spirit kept urging me to do and get out, not even knowing the details of? I didn't even know why I had to do this. But now I'm recognizing it. I'm seeing it now in real time. So some of the things you're gonna feel like you're faltering under the pressures of your mother because you feel like you're carrying that heavy weight of her, but you're carrying the heavy weight is because you are the one that can break the karmic cycle. That's what you can do. But it's gonna take you knowing that you can reprogram that. But if you say it's hard and it's difficult, then guess what? The universe is going to keep giving you hard and difficulties as it relates to that until you transmute it. Do y'all hear me?
I received that. I received it.
Forgive her. She tried. We become what we hate. Yes, we do. We become what we also don't understand. Okay, because you keep cycling that thing in and out of your head over and over and over again. And oh my God, and you keep, that's why I asked the question, how do you feel that your mother feels about you? Whether she is here with you or not. It's in you. The same way I say your mama don't have to tell you the experience for you to know what happened to her. You don't have to ask your mama what she think about you. It's written on you, your entire vibration. And if you got kids, if you need to really get some answers, ask your children, okay, what they think about you. Ask your kids, who are you as it relates to a mama? And they'll tell you too, okay? Listen, and me too, Cherie, you understand? This is all of us. This is what it means to be the Omega in the Pisces energy of Saturn. This is why it is going to be a little bit of pressure, because it is going into deep waters and swimming. It's going down to the bottom of the ocean floor. Okay, well, you know how they say you get so deep into the ocean where the pressure, you can't even breathe down there? That's what this is. You're in the pressure cooker of this energy, but you got it. You spend how many months in your mama's stomach? Swimming in water, being in pressure. How much are you in there? Come on, Brandy. Come on, doula. How much are we in that water, in that pressure cooker?
Not much.
You understand? Does that baby come out acting like it was barely surviving in that water? It came out like it was having a great time. Some of our kids didn't even want to come out of there. Mine didn't. Mine did not want to come out of there. Her Aquarius self was just like, give me another week. How about give me 2 more weeks? Okay. So water, you understand well. If you don't understand nothing else, you understand the pressures of water. The ocean is your friend. That is your home. Okay. You are mermaids. You understand this water. Now transmute it. Create something. All right. Now, next thing. Okay. How are you going to stay committed, responsible, in time management? Where do you have Saturn? What is your Saturn placement? Everybody tell me what your Saturn sign is. And what house is in. This is going to be your way of operating in Saturn. Where is Saturn? Where is Saturn? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Jasmine says Saturn is in Libra in the 4th house. Look at that. Look at this. Saturn in Libra in the 4th. Jasmine. You understand? Libra, balancer, the air. Saturn in Libra. Okay. Saturn energy has everything to do with time management, responsibility, and discipline. It's in the 4th house. Okay, so when it came down to the experience that you had, the relationship energy that you're experiencing in the 4th house is back and forth. Not being able to make a clear decision. I'm supposed to do this, but wait a minute, I got more questions. Maybe it's supposed to be that. I don't know, maybe it's this. So part of your inconsistency with your discipline, responsibility, and commitments is you go back and forth. So let me tell you how to break that for the next 5 months. When you know you're supposed to do something and it's ready for you to do something, you start to go back and forth and wobble. I need you to make a decision. We're going to do this right now. And if you do it, and if it's not something that's suiting, you can do the other thing. But stop sitting there trying to go over, because you can go all day with the details of maybe and what ifs, and if I do this, but if I do that, if I do that, if. You can do that all day. Okay? That's what's going to keep you from being disciplined and structured. Do something. Make a choice. If it's 2 options you're trying to choose from, choose one of them. If it's 6 options you're trying to choose from, choose one. I don't care what it is. Choose one of them and do it. Apply it, because the retrograde is where you're going to revise, right? You're going to rework it. So don't think that because you make a choice, you locked in. No, you're not. You're not locked in. For 5 months, you are working this stuff out. Make a choice. Do not let your inconsistencies of overthinking, overprocessing, trying to weigh the scales, peer scale, their scale. You're going to do that forever. And you'll do that to the point where you will exhaust yourself and not do nothing. Okay, so your responsibility and commitment to yourself, make a choice. And if you have to make another one, make another choice. And if you have to keep making choices, your problem is always going to be your inability to choose. So make a choice. Okay. All right. Now, because it's in the 4th house, this is also programming. All right, programming of your own energy. So meaning some inconsistencies that you also learn. This is from your mama. This is from your mothering program. Okay, so know that what you are learning to structure and recommitment and put yourself in a space, you're now training your children. Okay, so when you make a choice and you try something and do something, and whether it works out or not work out, you do it again, you are reprogramming. Because you learn that I just need to keep working it out. Let me keep thinking about it. Let me keep thinking about it. That's what you learn. But what you are reprogramming yourself is choice, choosing. And choosing is what's going to make you start to make moves. Okay? Sagittarius and Saturn in the 10th house. Monique, career. Okay? Sagittarius is movement. I need to go and learn. Okay? Gather more information so that I can not only become the teacher, but also be the student, but also be the teacher again. Okay, so getting comfortable with how those things look, because and I have to applaud you, because when we first started working together, baby, all you wanted to do was be the student. But now I see you teaching. I see you being on Facebook. I see you sharing. I see you going through those things, and that's what it looks like. It looks like intellectually talking about the things that you are learning about yourself, and showing others the things that you are testing out. Okay, the 10th house is going to draw people to you that's going to want to work with you, because it is where your status of who you are and how you work shows up. Okay, so you have to move. This movement that you're doing right now, you got to do it. It's helping you to see some different things about yourself, and it's helping you to draw a different clientele. It's helping you to draw all the people who have been stuck and been waiting to. They're going to see this as an opportunity to move, because you are showing expansion. Sagittarius, Saturn in Sagittarius shows expansion. So being disciplined to that, staying on top of your time management as it relates to, I learned this, I need to have a class. I learned this, I employ this, I'm having a class. Okay, always learning and teaching. Don't ever keep learning stuff and then stop wanting to teach. If you stop teaching, you stop learning. Okay, you start to become an over consumer, and then you overthink. And when you overthink again, you're not going to make any moves. Okay. Jamaica, Virgo, 4th house. Okay, Virgo, anxiety. Watch the anxiety. Okay, the ability to break things down is your superpower. Okay, so the Saturn energy in Virgo is to break things down to the minute microcosm of what's going on. Your job is to work with people. Okay, that is your job, to work with people, but it's also your job to make sure that you are not working with them so much in the sense where it's starting to cause you digestive issues. Okay, because you overdoing that thing. You're working too much, right? You said you're gonna only be there 4 hours, now you're there 8 hours. That's too much. That's going to cause levels of anxiety. And not only that's going to cause judgment. Judgment of who? Yourself and the people that you're working with. When you start to judge, that's when you know you need to go home. You be like, hold on, I am anxiety. I am getting overwhelmed and overworked. I need to go sit down. Okay. Go do something for yourself. Okay. Because of the fact that it is also in that 4th house dynamic, this is also, again, we talked about earlier, even though your mom is transitioned, you learned this workaholic doing everything from that 4th house dynamic. You learn it from your mama. So you doing what your mama would do. Now, I don't know if your mama was also in hair or what her thing may have been, but you learn this overwork or worker bee thing and having this working in anxiety and, just going. You pick this up. Okay. So now it's the reprogramming of that. So structure it out. I am going to go to work for hours. I am going to go in and help A, B, C, and D. I'm going to do this part and then I am leaving. Okay, I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. You have to list it out. Okay, Virgo, it needs a list of the things that you're going to do, and don't do no more. Okay, do those things, stay disciplined, stay committed, stay responsible to those things, and don't do no more. Because if you keep working in the ways in which you've been working, you're never going to get to that other part because you're never going to find the space and time and opportunity to do it. Okay. All right, Cherie, Saturn and Scorpio in the 8th house. All right, now this has everything to do with your ability to transform. Okay, now your Saturn and Scorpio needs to study deep levels of things. So that means studying the energy of fears versus power. Okay, so some things you may be operating in, or you may feel that is the energy of fear is really activating power, especially when it comes down to sexuality. 8th house rules the sexuality, it rules the occult. It also rules studying things like astrology, numerology, cardology, like all the different tools, tarot cards, all that stuff. Okay, so sometimes this is about you getting deeper into your own levels of attunement. Okay, your own practices. I don't know what you're doing on that, Cherie, because me and you ain't, I don't know if we've had a conversation, but if you're not into doing some type of divination, whether it be for yourself or be for others, you need to get into it. Okay. Why? Because that's going to keep you disciplined. And that can also look like prayer and meditation. It doesn't necessarily have to be astrology or cardology or numerology. But if you are doing some of those things, tarot and that kind of stuff, you got to get disciplined to it. Okay. Studying more, learning more about it. Okay. I read a tarot and I'm here to learn. Period. Okay. What are these things going to do? It's going to take you out of being fearful in life, and it's going to start to make you transform those things. And then some stuff too, when we start to think about what Scorpio also shows, Scorpio can also pull up energy of hidden sexual things. And what I mean by that, if there has been any type of sexual indiscretions in the family, or maybe there was something that happened to you in your childhood, or maybe of some things that may have happened to some people in your family or childhood, you're going to be the one that's going to deal with that. And what I mean deal with it means you're going to help to level that out. You're going to help to understand what these things mean and turn it into power, not just keep living in fear behind those things. 8th house is a very powerful house. Okay, and with that house comes transformation. So your Saturn in Scorpio, studying Saturn in Scorpio is going to help you to transform any dark energy, okay, any hidden things, any things that are fearful. Turn it into power, okay? So learning astrology, learning more of your chart and who you are, gonna help you to do that. Studying tarot, gonna help you to do those things, okay? All of these divinations are for you, okay? Saturn and Scorpio, finding time and discipline to study them, okay? All right, Saturn and Taurus, Cancer in the 4th house. All right, so Saturn and Taurus, you and Taurus. Saturn and Taurus don't like to deal with Saturn, okay? Just like Mars don't like to deal with Taurus either, okay? So when we think about what does it mean to do that, number one is to recognize that you are royal, okay? And because you are royal, you have a royal responsibility to show what everybody else in the family could not do. So what your siblings could not do, what your bloodline could not do, they passed down to you to take that baton. Okay, they ran that baton as far as they could and they passed it off to you. So gifts and talents and things that you're doing, you are literally changing the bloodline. Okay, so it's going to take you having to not pick these things up again, like I told you earlier, when they are convenient for you. You have to be disciplined to these things and you have to stay doing your shows. Okay, you have to like start putting your things on display, selling your art. Your art is supposed to be in people's houses because it's royal energy. So whenever people buy stuff from you and it's in their house, baby, their whole house changed, their whole energy changed. They feel a lot different, okay? So because it's the energy that you're supposed to spread around, being disciplined, having set number of pieces that you do every month, set amounts of classes that you go to learn different techniques, okay? It's easy for you when you go and learn. I mean, like what it would take people to learn years to develop a different stroke or a different way they take it, you learn in a matter of minutes, okay? Why? Because it's already in you. It's already been downloaded. So when you go and do these things, it advances the things that you want to do. It advances your ability to produce these things. This is all the stuff that shows your family and help your family to remember that they all have been doing these. Everybody has done it. They just forgot. But you also forgot. But then you went to New Orleans and New Orleans hit you at the top of your head and it's like, oh, what's happening? I remember. So since you remember, now it's getting detailed, organized into it, okay? Every month, it has to be something that you are putting that in the forefront. Not to say your other things, you know what I'm saying, your real estate, all these things too also have to be just as disciplined. But your art, your gifts, and your talents, these are royal things about you, okay? Taurus, all the gifts that you have are royalty things that are passed down. So now be disciplined, be immaculate with your time, your responsibility, and then you'll start to recognize when you do the commitment to yourself with these things and you step back and look at it, you're like, wait a minute, that changed my life. Now you are transmuting the energy of your mother. Now you're transmuting it because it's in the 4th house, right? Cancer in the 4th, self-care. What part of these things are actually giving rise to the self-care to make you better? You automatically feel better when you do it. So why do we stay so long and so disconnected from it? Because it's also emotional. It also makes you feel emotional too. You know what I'm saying? So it's being in the know that the emotions that comes from it, again, like I mentioned, Mary J. Blige, the emotion is what's creating the masterpiece. So you're not going to get away from the emotion. It is necessary, right? But don't let the emotions make you not stay disciplined, structured, and committed to getting those things done. Okay? All right.
Gigi, that Taurus comes from my daddy. I pulled his chart. He got Taurus all up and down his chart.
I believe that. I believe
Well,
that.
I blame him.
Yeah, you should. You should blame him. You know what I'm saying? But also recognizing that this is the energy that, again, Taurus is what we don't want to do it. I don't feel like it. Okay. So some of this stuff he just did not want to do. And now it's on you. Okay. So that's why when we look at the parental programs, don't just look at the mama side. You got to look at daddy's side too. The 4th house is the programs of the family, all of them. Okay. The people who were instrumental in your life. That's what it's about. Okay. All right. Taquessa. Saturn's in Capricorn, but not sure what house. What's your rising sign again?
Scorpio.
Scorpio. All right. So Scorpio is in your rising sign. And if we go Scorpio, Then we go Sagittarius, Capricorn is in the third. Okay, so Saturn and Capricorn in the third house. So this is all mental health and all how you think psychologically. Okay, Saturn and Capricorn is the disciplinary energy that it needs. So first of all, Saturn loves Capricorn and Saturn loves Aquarius. Okay, them the two places that Saturn loves to be. So it's at home. It's an at-home placement. When we have Saturn and Capricorn, is making sure that you are not doing too much, because Capricorn energy is the overgiver. Okay, it's always trying to give to the family, take care of the family. Why? Because Capricorn know that legacy is where it is. Okay, I'm not doing this just for me. I'm doing this for the legacy. But sometimes when you do it for the legacy, you also lose sight of the fact that sometimes you're doing it for the legacy because you're also missing some things from your childhood perspective. Where we have Capricorn in our chart is also where we sometimes are overworking and overdoing it. Okay, so it's about making sure that you are now putting in activating discipline, putting in commitment, putting in structure to how you're going to move out of doing so much for others and doing the things you need to do for yourself. So what I mean by that is the Capricorn perspective in the third house means that when you overwork, your mind is overworked too. Psychologically, you become overworked. And when you become overworked psychologically, it's hard for you to maintain that. Okay. It's hard for you to maintain the other things that you have to do. So you got to pull back. You got to come back out of there and recognize that when it comes down to what you need to actually show up in, when it comes down to the Saturn and Capricorn energy, is making sure that you have time management, immaculate time management. So do what needs to be done and don't overdo. Okay, because when you overdo, this is what gets affected. Third house is also the house of siblings. Okay, so this is also not only are you taking on responsibility for the family, the legacy, now you're doing too much as it relates to the siblings. Okay, so that means you've come out of being the child, and now it's almost like you mama and daddy. Okay, trying to play two roles to not only your mama and your daddy, you know what I'm saying, but your sister or your brothers and your nieces and nephews, right? You become the energy that's trying to do everything. And you can't do everything. You have to make sure that you are immaculate with your time, immaculate with your commitment to yourself. How do you want this energy to be? Okay, what do you want it to render you? You want it to render you a balance in your mental health. What is one of the ways that you can also to balance that out? What are you doing for gifts and talents? What are you doing to use your hands? What are you doing that allows you to be just in a state of flow by yourself? Where's your gift and talents?
I don't have anything right now that I'm doing.
Well, you need to find something immediately. You need to go to an art class, go to any type of community thing that you can do. I tell people all the time, going to Eventbrite. If you go to Eventbrite, there's a section on there where they have free things. Okay, not everything on Eventbrite is paid. If you go to Eventbrite, you can type in free community things or type in free events in your area, and it'll pull up nothing but free community things that you can do. But you need to do something. You need to do something that is not centered around work and not centered around taking care of your family and other people. You need to do something. You need to find a different set, right? Because third house is going to allow you to create and do something different. Because not doing something is not going to work. And if you don't find something to do and put yourself in it, then Saturn will give you a hard, reckoning, okay, about this. So it's taking this to the next level, being committed to yourself above all else is how you're going to maintain everything else. So I need you to do that. I need you to go to Eventbrite, type in what is free around your area, and then do something, okay? You got me?
Yes, I got you.
All right. Did I miss anybody? Cherie, I did yours. Okay.
Brandy.
Randy, where's yours? Go back up.
We ate cold burritos at school, bro.
When they giving us
Randy, did you type
when they
yours?
giving us the app at home versus
Yeah, it is
When are they giving us a fish?
Saturn and Capricorn in the 8th.
Oh, you typed it in the beginning, didn't you? Let me go back up. Saturn and Capricorn in the 8th house. All right. So Saturn and Capricorn Same thing I just said, okay? Which is taking care of everybody, okay? Doing everything to everybody. Now, the 8th house perspective also brings a level of where you can take this energy and now what you can do with it, right? So, whereas hers was in the 3rd house, where it was all in psychological perspectives, yours been in the 8th house is all hidden energy as it relates to like sex magic or sexual things or hidden sexual things, right? So that's where we got the other tool or the other thing that you brought out, right? Which is the love cause and helping that out. So now is you being able to find something that's disciplined and structured to that, right? So that means developing that a little bit more. What does it actually look like? How do you want to nurture that? How many clients you want to take on? What does it look like for you to do that? You know what I'm saying? But also making sure that as you're stepping into that Saturn and Capricorn energy, is to do the same thing. Is making sure that you are doing things that are allowing you to also learn some different things as it relates to that. Okay. So meaning learning some things more so about like sex magic stuff, right? Have you read about Tantra stuff? Right? Have you read about different forms of sexual energies, right? What is sex magic? What is Tantra? Okay. What is all these different things that you can learn? Because being in these spaces of learning these things is also opening up to a different community. Okay. Not only that, putting yourself in the spaces of maybe going to some type of sexual things, right? Going to some sexual events. I don't know if you've ever been to one, but it may be good for you to go there. So you can start to actually see how this energy looks, right? When people are sharing certain things with you. Check my chart and it says Saturn in the 2nd house. But you say you have, okay, I'm gonna come back to you in a minute. When you start to look at how these things can then start to be used, right, in your own perspective, right? Meaning like when you think about your sexual energy and you think about the things that you know from a sexual perspective, right? In order for you to be able to really clearly have a detailed way in which you are allowing other people to come to you with these things, is to develop more of what that looks like for you, right? So it's not just, I want to offer these things. How do I want to offer these things in what ways, right? Capricorn, Saturn and Capricorn is just the disciplinary energy that you use as it relates to knowing how you're going to further the legacy and further that energy, but also the ways in which you work. Because if you don't understand it, then you will just be putting a whole lot of things out, but you're not really, there's no structure to it. There's no discipline to it. It's just all out everywhere. So how is this actually going to look? We talked about this a little bit in the last class when you was like, well, I don't know what type of clients I want to take in, or what if I take these type of clients? And I'm like, use your radar, say what you want and what you don't want. So now it's time for you to put yourself into learning these different types of things too, so that you can now draw a certain level of clientele. But you also have to be mindful too, that you're going to draw the energy in which you put out. So what energy are you putting out as it relates to that? Okay. Are there some things that you're willing to help people to heal with? Like I said, being a doula, you're not just a baby birthing doula. You're also many forms of this work, because you got it all over your place in your chart. It's easy for you to draw these things in when you are disciplined about what you are actually drawing in. So spend time in this 5 months working on what that looks like for you. How do you want this thing to be? How are you committed to the time and putting the time in to seeing what this looks like? Okay. All right. Now going back to you. Now you said, so it probably will say it's in the 2nd house, depending on the degrees, because I'm not looking at degrees. I'm just going in order, right? So if you have Saturn in Capricorn, you are Sagittarius rising, but it's based on the type of numbers that it is. So meaning like if Saturn is in its earliest degrees and the 2nd house in its earliest degrees, then it would also share that. So even if it's in the 2nd house, that's still money, right? So even if we backed up and put it into the money perspective, 2nd house is where you need to make sure that you are, again, foundations, values, relationship energy. When you think about your Capricorn energy, Saturn in Capricorn, is knowing what it is that you are doing, having immaculate time, immaculate energy as it relates to your disciplinary things, And now taking that and segueing it into your second house of money. How do you bring the money down? You bring the money down by making sure that you are disciplined with your energy. You're still not giving it out everywhere. You're not just shedding it into all these places as it relates to your family and as it relates to the energy of, putting it in all the other places that are not bringing you the rewards that you need to bring. The rewards are, what is your value to yourself? And are you making sure that you're not overworking yourself to where your value is diminished in your own eyes? Like you don't see yourself as valuable, so you just do what needs to be done in order to make the money. The Capricorn energy in you will overwork, okay? And wherever Earth is outside of Taurus, but Virgo and Capricorn, it'll overwork, okay? So you got to make sure that you're not overworking, because it has to be disciplined. It has to be how you employ that, okay? So when you look at this and when you study this, study your second house and study Saturn and Capricorn. So when you write it out, Saturn and Capricorn in the second house, and it's going to give you even more details of it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. Now, the last thing that I want you guys to focus on, and I'm gonna let y'all go, is your other mutable energy. Okay, so meaning when you go and look at your chart, I want you to also study the spaces where you have Gemini, where you have Sagittarius, where you have Virgo, and we already talked about Pisces. So those other three areas of your chart is also where the Saturn and Pisces retrograde is going to have a little bit of a push towards. So wherever your Virgo placements are, that's also where you need to go and study as well. So meaning go and read that up. When you go and pull your time passages and you see where you have Virgo energy, click on it. Click on it and read it. Click on it and read it, and it's going to tell you what houses it's in. It's going to tell you what it means to have it in the house. Outside of that, also go and Google search it. Okay, because this is also just some extra energy. Now, what we talked about is the primary energy that's going to affect you. So for 5 months, you know what you need to focus on for Pisces perspectives, and you know what the Saturn energy is going to help you to make sure that happens. But the other areas, the other mutable areas, are where you're going to get extra information of things that are starting to trigger you, come up for you, because these areas also are being fed some energy. Where you have the Sagittarius placement is also where you have to look at your family as being human, okay? They too are human beings. They're not robots. And when you start to see that they had flaws, guess what that's going to make you do? Recognize that you got flaws too. You will be a little bit more patient with yourself. Okay, you will be a little bit more forgiving versus being judgmental. Okay, where you see the Virgo placements in your chart is where you have to make sure that you are not over judging and having too much anxiety towards the relationship dynamics that you have, friend relationships, romantic relationships, all of those ships. Okay, making sure that you're not overly judging those spaces too, because when you tend to do that, you tend to rest in anxiety and you want to jump ship. So during this cycle of 5 months, you're going to have to decide whether or not these relationships are worth keeping. And if they are, go into a deeper level of commitment. Set boundaries with those, okay? When you set boundaries with them, it's going to allow you to do a little bit more so that you too can start to come to the forefront of not only just being somebody who's just being a part of it. You're going to be very instrumental in the energy, because you're going to say, hey, I'm recognizing that this is giving me anxiety. I need to work this out because I really want to keep this relationship, and this is what I'm going to do for it. Okay. Now, if you've come to the conclusion that it ain't worth your time and energy, it's too much anxiety, and it ain't giving you nothing back, then cut it. Okay, that's what you also have to do when it comes down to those placements. Now, when it comes down to the other perspective, the Gemini energy, we've been working with this Gemini energy for the last couple of months. Your mental health is going to be the forefront from now until next year. As long as we got Jupiter in Gemini, your mental health is huge. So your creative mindset is what you're going to do for that. Okay, making sure that you're staying creative. Anytime you tend to feel like you're losing yourself, because Gemini will lose itself a lot. When you feel yourself that is happening, or you feel like you are literally, you telling yourself, I feel a little crazy, that means you are not being creative enough. That means you're not stepping into that, okay? Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius are all mutable signs also going to get hit. Watch that energy, okay? But the primary energy is your Pisces placements, your 12th house energy, and your Saturn dynamics. How you handle that, number one, Cancer, we're in the Cancer season. So what are you supposed to be doing? Evaluating your programs. Evaluate what you have picked up and learned, because what you have picked up and learned is making you who you are today. It's making you not be disciplined and not committed to yourself. You are not responsible because you have been passed down these lack of responsibilities, but you have to grow up. Okay, you have to be committed to yourself and disciplined to yourself. And in 5 months from now, you will be the best you've ever been in your life. I guarantee you by the end of this year, not only will you be a new person, you'll be better financially responsible. You'll be in healthier relationships. Your body will look better. Okay, your mind will be better. Your job that you have will be better. Everything about your life will be better when you start to really employ the discipline and the structures that you need. Okay. Any questions? Ba-dum-bum. Great. Well, this is it. I'm letting y'all go. It's a wrap. Okay.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome, Drea. It was good to see you.
Thank you. Thank
too.
you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Gigi.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Monique, and you getting off my Monique, you're getting off my Zoom. Okay. This is it. This is the wrap up. Now, from this point, time for you to go and study. If y'all have any questions, make sure you reach out to me. That's what I'm here for, to make sure that we, for the next 5 months, are doing what we're supposed to do. Now, again, your Mercury retrograde is going to happen on August 4th. So if you go ahead and do your mama and daddy programs now, when that retrograde happens on the 4th, you'll be good. You'll be ready for that Leo energy. You'll be ready to shine during Lionsgate, baby. Okay, but if you are resistant to this work and I don't want to do it, I don't feel like it, that retrograde is going to come and it's going to slingshot your ass into somewhere that you don't want to be. Okay, you heard it from me first. I done told you. All right, but I appreciate you guys for being here with me always, in all ways. And I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Of course, we're going to have our Cancer New Moon class. It's going to be all about mama. We're going to have a mama class and we're going to just come and cry. our Cancer New Moon class is going to be number 10s, baby. It's going to be all crying. I don't want to do number cry. Talk and cry. I'm like, my mama is this to me. I am this person. All tears. If you ain't ready to cry, don't come to class, because we crying for the new moon, the new moon in Cancer. That's what we're going to do. We are going to be a big ball, cotton ball of snot and tears. Okay. So please join me. I will see you guys soon.
Brandy have a question before you end.
Say what?
Brandy has a question. Her messages keep coming to me.
Oh, what? I don't know why she's sending the question to you. Yes, ma'am, Brandy.
Well, I've been sending you messages this whole time. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. This sex thing been coming up, me. I'm not. It's been coming up. I haven't been having any sex. Okay. I've been very much staying to myself. Okay.
Why you ain't having sex?
Because I haven't found the person that I want to be with. And I want to share myself with.
So, well, why you don't have a person that you want to have? Why you not bringing them to you?
Because I'm focused on myself right now.
Oh, well, so what is the problem we having then, truly, Brandy? Do you want to have sex or you don't want to have sex?
Of course I want to have sex,
well,
but
then let's have some sex. Let's have sex.
But I want love, though.
Well, listen, sometimes you and that's the part you have to kind of like start to get into the depths of. If you truly want love before sex, then maybe this is how you need to manifest it. Because that doesn't sound like that's what you're doing. Okay. Sound like to me, you may need to just dust them pipes off. Okay. And then you dust the pipes off, then maybe you can work on that. You know what I'm saying? Or
And
if
you definitely dust the pipes off, girl.
How come I definitely dust the pipe off?
Yes, dust the pipes off, because I was feeling the same way. I was on this thing, but it was just something I was telling myself. Well, I mean, I was really not to devalue your feelings, because I can totally understand where you're coming from, because I've been feeling like that too, not wanting to be bothered, wanting something real, a deep connection, love, and all that stuff. And really, I was conditioning myself not to even want sex. And I mean, I got some and I was like, oh, You know, why have I been doing, why have I been denying myself pleasure
Exactly.
this whole time? You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, but dust the pipes off, girl.
Because you can still have love, right? We can still manifest love, a partner in love, and you can still have sex. So sometimes we think that having sex is going to get in the way of attracting love. And to be honest with you, sometimes when we start to get into having sex, it attracts more love because you start to feel what Dre is talking about. You start to feel what pleasure is. But sometimes you turn pleasure all the way off, thinking that love is going to come and then pleasure is going to come. But no, pleasure brings love. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're not willing to have sex with somebody else, are you having sex with yourself?
Of course.
Are you liking it and enjoying it though?
Well, lately it's been kind of off. Like
I bet you.
at one point it was like very like powerful. Like I can manifest things with it, but now it's like, yeah.
You bored with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we mean by dusting the pipes off. Maybe because you so bored with yourself, you need a pipe, somebody come in and just dust it off. And then you can get back into that thing of, oh, okay, I feel pleasure. Okay. Because pleasure, you should never deny yourself. You hear what I'm saying? I don't currently have a sex partner, but baby, I'm in love. I'm loving the pleasure with me. I'm loving the time that I have. You understand? So it's about when it comes down to it, because sex is such an integral part of how you are working your Saturn dynamics. You got to find the root to it. You got to be willing to stay in a state of pleasure with this energy and not just make it somebody else's responsibility, because it's not nobody else's responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do sometimes. We say, I want to find love, right? What we're really saying is, I don't want to be responsible for my pleasure. I want the connection to be responsible for my pleasure. And it just doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Pleasure comes as you are drawing in love. It's not love and then pleasure comes in. That's not how that works. Okay?
Gotcha.
Dust some pipes off, girl. Or you better get into the psyche. You better start sitting down, and I don't know if you got to get naked and get in front of the mirror and start to bring that thing back around, you know what I'm saying? Or get you a new toy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's the toys that you're using. If you're a person that likes toys, maybe you need to, explore. Go to a sex shop, okay? Maybe if you're a person that like porn, maybe you need to watch some different type of porn, okay? Whatever it takes to get you into your state of pleasure, get there, okay? Whether it be you using the body or, again, using something else. There's a lot of sons out here that want to be used. They ain't got no intentions on doing nothing else, and you ain't got to have no intentions either, okay? You be like, hey, listen, this is purely for my pleasure, and that's all it's going to be, okay? And I guarantee you some of them are going to be like, I'm fine with that, you know what I'm saying? Because I need to dust some pipes off anyway. I've been needing to do that, okay? So we have to understand that sometimes mutual energy of pleasure can be just that. You know what I'm saying? Some of my best times in my life have been when I just only had a pipe cleaner. You understand what I'm saying? I think about some of my pipe cleaners today, and I'm like, goodness gracious. I really wish that pipe cleaner was over here in Mexico, because I would be pulling it. You understand? And be like, hey, I'm gonna see you next week on Thursday. You Thursday, you clear 6 or 8 what time? Okay, good. Cause let me know, because I'm gonna pull up and then I'm gonna leave. Okay. Sometimes we have to be understanding that is necessary for us. Okay. It ain't always got to be about love. And it don't mean that if we're doing that we are not worthy or drawing love. Because again, I drew more relationships of people who wanted to be in a relationship with me when I had pipe cleaners. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Okay. Monique tell myself X-rated. All right. I love y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go.
Love you too.
I'll see y'all really, really soon. Y'all will get y'all playback very soon. Okay. I mean, like in the morning, you'll get it, watch it back. Don't forget to do with your homework, your study. You got 5 months of this. 5 months of reworking. Okay, revising all the RE words. Okay, make some sticky notes, put some stuff up around the house to remind you. Go get you a Sharpie, write in your mirror. Okay, in your bathroom mirror, write some stuff down to remind you to stay disciplined and structured and committed to yourself. Okay, I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon.
Thank you.
Toodles.